Could this be the game that challenges 83? Well, I got no idea because both of these games are still in pre-alpha testing, but in today's video I want to talk to you about this new game that I got offered to try before anyone else. This is like some exclusive shit, okay? I don't have a lot going on in my life, so being given access to this game made me feel important. That's irrelevant, I just had to put it out there. And also, if you're wondering why I sound dead and lifeless, I'm sick. I live in Australia, so it's not anything bad, but I mean, I just thought I should throw it out there in case I sound dead. But look, Afterconflict is a first-person realistic multiplayer shooting game where basically the last remnants of NATO and Warsaw Pact are like duking it out for some reason. I mean, I'd assume if World War III were to break out, I mean, I'd assume that nuclear bombs were flown, or at least everyone's fucking dead. Like, what's the point of even fighting anymore at that point if the whole world is gonna be fucking vaporized? But I mean, nonetheless, I absolutely love this point in history, like late Cold War, when, you know, things were getting a little spicy, a little sexy, and, you know, it looked like fists were gonna be thrown. But look, let's focus on the game itself. It has a couple of things about it that are really fucking unique. Look, I haven't seen some of the shit that they've done in any other video games, and now you're probably sitting there wondering, well, Tantwo, you have a very limited variety of video games, which is true. I only play World of Tanks and Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, and maybe the odd Civilization 6 or Superpower 2 or Hearts of Iron 4, just because I like world domination and fucking nuking people. Can you blame me? Okay, I want to get serious now, but the first thing that I really fucking loved about this game is the weapon sounds. Now, in a lot of, you know, action movies, fancy video game, AAA video games, all the guns are made in a way so they sound entertaining, I suppose, but in this game, the weapons sound more like a popping sound. Like, this is what I imagined a real gun would sound like. Because, I mean, I'm Australian, but I mean, on Reddit, I would see like occasional weapon posts saying, oh, you know, what does a gun sound like or something, and people say the reason why veterans get, you know, PTSD from like fireworks is because they sound more like a popping sound, or like more like fireworks. I mean, that's what I've been told. I don't know for certain. Obviously, different guns have different sounds, but I am really fucking loving the sounds of these guns. And you know what my favorite, my absolute fucking favorite thing about the weapon sounds is the fact that if you were to fire continuously, right? Continuously, like fully automatic, you actually go deaf. Now that is so fucking sick. And if you fire like long enough, you'll actually hear like ringing sounds in your ears. I thought it was my tinnitus going off, but no, it was the game. And it was, oh, it's just so cool. You have to hear this for yourself. This is so goddamn cool. I haven't seen any other video game do this. I mean, if I play Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, I did say that, like, you know, if I'm firing like an LMG, or if I'm being suppressed, or, you know, if I'm getting a fucking bomb landing right next to me, I want to go deaf. I want to feel it. I want to shit my pants. I want sensory deprivation. That's what I want. And this is what the game delivers when I'm firing a weapon. But I mean, at the current stage in development, we actually do have a fair few Warsaw Pact guns, and we only get one NATO weapon, which is the G3, I think. I don't know, I need to like throw the image up on screen. I completely forgot what the gun is called. But another cool feature when you fire a weapon is there's this like smoke that can be seen coming out of the end of the barrel. I don't know if you can see this, but there's like gases leaving the end of the barrel, and that is so cool. Also, another thing that I love is the fact that you can turn on the safety when you're putting your guns away. I mean, the way I made it sound like you have an option. You can see when I'm unequipping the weapon, like he flicks a switch, and when I re-equip it, he flicks it again. That's really good attention to detail. But I mean, look, let's be honest, it can be considered unnecessary to some people, and it won't, you know, make or break the game, but having it there does add to the experience. It makes it better, in my opinion. It makes it more immersive, adds to the immersion of the universe. But I mean, another unique thing that I want to talk about is that in every, or almost every first-person shooter game, the scroll wheel will change the weapon that you're holding, right? You know, you can always switching to your sidearm is always faster than reloading, as fucking Gaz would say from Call of Duty 4. But in this game, there's this feature where if you use the scroll wheel, you can adjust how fast you can walk. Like, you can go like a snail's pace to, you know, a decent walking speed. But moving on, the thing is, right, with a lot of shooting games or just video games in general, or even, you know, movies, they always like to focus on the most popular countries, such as America and the USSR. But I mean, you know, it makes more sense because, you know, these countries have the biggest population that they can cater to, and also because, you know, they were the biggest contributors during the Cold War. war. But in Afterconflict, I love what they've done. You know, they've added East and West Germany and the USSR at the moment. Obviously, when the game is being developed, they're going to add more shit in. But at the moment, they've made East and West Germany and the USSR. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, I love East Germany. Now, obviously, I wouldn't live there, and I hate the government that was implemented there. I hate that. But I'll give credit where credit's due. I love the flag, and I love the national anthem. They're so damn good. And another thing is, I played the East German national anthem on one of my videos like years ago, right? And I got in trouble for copyright. Like, I mean, that's complete fucking bullshit in my opinion, because I mean, it's the people's national anthem. How can you copyright that? It doesn't belong to anyone, you fucking bitch. But I mean, you know, it's good that, you know, some minor countries that you're getting, you know, representation in this game, because obviously we think Cold War, we think USSR and USA, but we never have inclusion of, you know, like these little countries as playable factions, because quite literally they all just get lumped together. They either speak English or, you know, English with an accent, or they just speak Russian, which I mean, fair enough. I believe that's how they would have gone in real life. But I mean, look, they also get unique uniforms, weapons, and equipment, and I would personally love to see Czechoslovakia in there with the VZ58 or VZ58, depends if you're nasty or not. And you know, I forgot to mention, if you press the H key, you can inspect the weapon, kind of like in CSGO, right? But if they add in the North Korean Type 58, I will be so goddamn happy, because that's probably my favorite AK-47 variant. And if I can like inspect the gun and I see like the North Korean insignia on the handle, I don't actually know where it is, and like North Korean writing, that'll be so goddamn cool. Oh, and right, imagine if right at the end of the battle, and like, you know, you can hear like the music or the national anthem of the country's playing. Like if you're playing as East Germany, you'll win East German national anthem's playing, or if you're playing as Russia, USSR anthem. Obviously there can be some copyright infringement there, which they'll have to deal with it. I don't know how they'll have to deal with it, but I mean, I'd imagine that most communist songs have to fall under like free to use, basically. It's pretty goddamn ironic if you're like using like the USSR national anthem and then boom, you just get taken down for copyright. But look, moving on to movement, and as I said previously, you know, the game is in its early stages of development, but I found the movement, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing too like smooth, but it's also not too clunky. It's alright at the moment. It definitely could be improved on. And now, you know, I can't imagine, you know, carrying a rifle and heaps of equipment will allow you to be agile. Sometimes it's hard to go into a sprint, like you press the shift key and sometimes it doesn't do it. I mean, that's been my experience. But I mean, at the moment you can't jump and there's no fall damage, because I mean, obviously that's going to be so hard to probably implement. But I mean, at the moment, you know, the leaning mechanics, I fuck with the leaning mechanics. They are pretty damn good. I can imagine, like, you know, you're going into a house, you throw a grenade in there and you're like leaning around the corners and shit. That's good. I like the leaning. But I mean, one thing I'd like to see is the ability to like adjust the sprint speed, just like the walking speed. You can have like a really fast sprint, like a short burst, but you drain your stamina quicker. And then you can have like a sort of jog or like a slower paced run, so you can run further because it drains your stamina less, but you just won't be able to run as fast. I feel like that'll be good, in my opinion, to implement. But yeah, I mean, this is literally just part one of the videos that I'm going to make on this game, because there's just so much to talk about that I couldn't actually fit everything in this video. Like, I couldn't even talk about like bullet drop, bullet penetration, because I mean, I don't want to make like a 20-minute video adding in like every fine detail. I'm going to make other separate videos on those things. Also, if you're wondering why my voice sounds a little strange at this part of the video, well, quite frankly, I got hungry halfway through recording and I kind of just left the house and I didn't get home in time to record. So now I'm just in the shed recording up. But yeah, I'm literally like leaning over the microphone, and there's like, it's so different because in my room there's like echo, but in this room it's so small. There's like 50 bajillion spiders in here, but it's winter or autumn, whatever. So I mean, there are no spiders, but I don't trust them. It's Australia, you know? But anyways, I'm going to end today's video there. If you guys did enjoy it, please do consider leaving a like, subscribing, sharing the video to your friends and family. Anyways, my name is Tantwo, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.